do you think Wirtz and Ekitike is the best growing partnership in football?
Yeah. Right now.
I know who you're gonna say. It's Bournemouth and Lyon.
Yeah. Two great teams that I think were the big winners of this transfer window.
How would Endrick go to Real Madrid next season and say, I'm the guy, man. I'm the striker. It's winning that World Cup. If he wins the World Cup for Brazil and he's one of the main players to make that happen, Endrick is just different breed.
Yes, Luka Vuskovic is the player with most aerial duels won in the Big Five leagues. So I think in the aerial game, it's very difficult to be better than Luka Vuskovic. He's very aggressive in the air, and I think he will become a world-class centre-back. I don't have any doubt. Episode 23 of the FC Wonderkid podcast. Alex, how are you doing? And I have to say that the support from our followers has been magnificent in the last weeks, and I'm so happy to see the comments in TikTok and in YouTube. And guys, you have to keep pushing in the comments and saying your opinions, disagreeing, agreeing with us. In the end, what is important is to talk about football and Wonderkids and to have an opinion. But
exactly.
Alex, how are you doing?
I'm doing incredibly well. Thank you for that starter, Fleep. It's magnificent, the support. I completely agree with you. 5 stars on Spotify. It's a huge help for us. Like on this video on YouTube. And yes, the comment section, just seeing the disagreements and agreements. Some people agree with what we say too. That is always good to see. But yes, sharing your thoughts is always a plus here in the FC Wonderkid community. So thank you everyone that's supporting us. And now, what an episode we can promise here, okay? We're going to talk about the European competitions, Wonderkids that went extremely bold, like Karetsic, Stankovic, Lamine, Yamal. Is he the best 18-year-old ever in football? We're going to talk about that. And yes, we got to start here, FC Wonderkid podcast, talking about a manager that we know very, very well. That is Liam Rosenior. And I'm going to say a bold statement straight at the start. Liam Rosenior is right now the best English manager in football. I love Eddie Howe. I hate Gareth Southgate. I think he should never be the best English manager. But Liam Rosenior, with the decision-making that he's doing at Chelsea, 5 wins in a row, and the substitutes against West Ham, there was 2 different halves against West Ham with Chelsea. First half, poor Chelsea, incredibly good West Ham. Second half, new Chelsea with new substitutes. Liam Rosenior won that match with the substitutes with Fofana, Cucurella and João Pedro. 3 players that have grit and mentality to change the game, and all 3 had goal involvements in that match. Liam Rosenior won that match, an elite manager in the making. I'm not going to say he's the elite manager straight away right now, but he's developing and he's showing results. So, how are you feeling with Liam Rosenior at Chelsea?
I'm really surprised in the positive way because he's being very clever, Liam Rosenior. First of all, he's a tactician. He knows a lot of the game. And
former footballer.
Yeah, and I remember when Rooney said when he was the manager of Derby County, he doesn't even know about the tactics. The guy that was
an elite footballer.
The
top goal scorer of Man United ever.
When Rooney was like a manager of Derby County, and the man that take account of the tactics and all of that was Liam Rosenior, that was his assistant coach. And I think Liam Rosenior right now is being very clever in how he's dealing with the dressing room, how he's dealing with the fans, because I saw the interview after the game.
Iconic interviews, yes.
Saying that the fans were booing in the first half, and he completely understood and congratulated the fans as well in the second half that were very important for that win, 3-2.
I gotta say, Stamford Bridge, when it's electric, it is a different stadium. It's football heritage this century. Stamford Bridge in European competitions and in the Premier League, like we saw at West Ham. Like, I completely agree with what you said, and he's understanding that culture.
He's understanding, and he's making that the fans are with the team, and this guy is being very clever in that way, and also he's as well is taking the best from some players. Andrei Santos, I can see an increase on his performance with Liam Rosenior,
João Pedro,
and Jorelato that we said in the last episodes that he may play more minutes with Liam Rosenior. I think this will happen, and he started the last match.
True.
If I'm not wrong.
And another player, I don't want to completely. I want to just go with what you're saying. Enzo Fernández. Enzo Fernández currently is one of the best midfielders in the world.
Tell me one midfield duo better than Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernández right now.
In terms of to complete each other, I don't know. Maybe the Barça duo. If we have a Frenkie de Jong, a Pedri, Dani Olmo, or a Gavi, or a Fermin Lopes, that's an elite midfield too.
A very complete duo.
And João Neves Vitinha.
João Neves Vitinha, I think is the best duo. And I think the second one, maybe, I think Pedri is the best midfielder in the world.
Yes.
But I think maybe Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernández, because it's very complete. It's very complete.
And if you have Cole Palmer at the 10, André Santos, the first sub for this double pivot, Chelsea have an elite recruitment, an elite midfield. Completely agree. And I think there's a real chance Chelsea have to lock in once again with Enzo Fernández. I know he's got a very lengthy contract, but you got to pay the big bucks for this type of player. Enzo Fernández is a necessity for a team like Real Madrid, okay? If I see Mastatuono, Nico Paz, a player that can add tremendous value to this Real Madrid midfield that needs a player like Enzo Fernández, they got to sign him. Real Madrid's two mega big transfers that they will want is Vitinha and Enzo Fernández, because they need to solve the issue of Luka Modric and Toni Kroos leaving. Camavinga, Tchouameni, all destroyers in midfield. Not that creator in terms of long passes. But that is a complete different conversation.
Enzo Fernández is a world-class player. Yes. I think he's top 5 midfielders in the world right now.
That can play 6, 8, and 10. Yes, in terms of complete midfielder, I agree with that statement, yes. But talking about Chelsea, there's something very important. I mentioned Chelsea have elite recruitment. Why? Because in terms of players that will be or are currently top 5 players in their position, they have Cole Palmer, they have Estevão, they have Cucurella, Enzo Fernández, Moises Caicedo, Giovanni Kenda in the future, maybe Panicelli if they want, maybe Mamadou Sarr if they want, maybe Valentin Barco. These are players that are 100% top 5 in their positions. So in terms of recruitment, in terms of the controllable variables, Chelsea seems to be an amazing project, and Liam Rosenior was... because Enzo Maresca, when he left, was very unexpected. But for the unexpected decision, for the best decision that they could have made, I think they did it with Liam Rosenior. So, and at the start, I was a bit of a skeptical, but more and more.
I need to see the consistency.
But do you think that Chelsea are going to get top 4? I think playing like this, I think Chelsea can do that.
Maybe Man United is good right now as well with Michael Carrick. Let's see. I think we need to see the consistency, okay? Because
we are
in the end of the championship, that's what it counts, the consistency. If you can play like this, like 15 games in a row. I don't know if Man United can do it. I don't know if Chelsea can do it. We must see.
But 5 wins in a row. And the Napoli win, it was the first loss of Napoli at home in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Chelsea managing to have these types of results, not just in the Premier League, increasing their level, but also in the Champions League. I'm looking at this and I'm very confident. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I think better times are going to come with Liam Rosenior. But yes.
Fantastic beginning for Liam Rosenior, no doubt.
But I was a bit, I'm not going to say worried, but what was the decision where Aaron Anselmino made? Because...
Very strange.
Look, what I saw from now, the reports today of Ben Jacobs, he did state that Chelsea were bothered by Dortmund trying to sign him permanently. I understand that sort of decision because Anselmino clearly is a player for the Chelsea project in 2-3 years' time, most definitely. And if Chelsea is not signing Jérémy Jacquet, and he's going in the summer, maybe to Chelsea, maybe to Liverpool, maybe to Bayern Munich, let's wait and see. I think Chelsea this winter, they're going to get Mamadou Sarr, and they're going to put Anselmino on loan to Strasbourg. Considering the fact that Dortmund was trying to sign Anselmino permanently, I can understand their decision-making from Chelsea's point of view. But from the player's view, it's always tough to make a new home in the middle of the season and try to have top form in a new team.
It's very tough, and Aaron Anselmino must feel a little bit bad with this situation because This guy was playing in Borussia Dortmund, starting a lot of games. He didn't start more games because of his injuries.
True.
And I think that's one part that will be a key part if Aaron Anselmino becomes a top centre-back or not. It's his injuries, let's see. But this guy was one of the best players in Borussia Dortmund every time he played. So, and right now he is going to Strasbourg, playing with all the respect to Strasbourg, but playing it in a team that is not so good as Borussia Dortmund. I think Aaron Anselmino didn't approve this situation and this.
But it wouldn't be Aaron Anselmino approving the fact that he would stay at Dortmund.
But this type of situations, if Dortmund wanted to buy Aaron Anselmino, Chelsea have the word. Chelsea decides if they sign Aaron Anselmino or not. And if Borussia Dortmund said, we want to buy Aaron Anselmino in Chelsea, no, he stays there on loan. Why they were bothered and they'll take him out of Dortmund?
Because rumoredly they're saying that they wanted a pre-agreement which put Chelsea in a tough situation, which I don't know if it's true or not, but what I think and what I'm angling through here is I really think Anselmino and Borussia Dortmund maybe after this transfer window would be in more of a position of saying, look, I want to stay another season, and I'm gonna make things hard to stay another season. So I definitely can see your point of view that Anselmino, in terms of his career, in terms of guarantees, the best decision would be to stay at Borussia Dortmund. But from a business decision, in terms of Chelsea, their guarantees, I think going to Strasbourg and giving Mamadou Sarr in January is the best decision. A sporting decision and financial decision for
If
Chelsea.
they sign Jeremy Jacquet is a little bit strange. It's a lot of centre-backs, a lot of young centre-backs, and not all of them will play for Chelsea.
And that's why I think Mamadou Sarr is going to be the player that will go, because if Anselmino is going to Strasbourg, someone is going to leave. And I think Mamadou Sarr is the centre-back that is the most ready to play in the Premier League, in my opinion.
I disagree. I think Anselmino is more ready than Mamadou Sarr.
But you said it. Injuries. And you need to see Anselmino playing consistently 6 months. We've seen Mamadou Sarr a full year being important for his team. One of the captains, I believe, of Strasbourg too.
Yes.
And also grew in the national team at Senegal.
Fantastic work in the AFCON and very crucial for the Senegal title in AFCON. And I really like Mamadou Sarr. I think Aaron Anselmino will become a better centre-back than Mamadou Sarr, and is right now better. I won't say right now he's
because
better.
Of injuries, because there's an injury risk of Anselmino if he's not playing consistently. But we agree in terms of potential.
Levi Colwill had injuries.
True. It's true. And Levi Colwill still hasn't returned, so it's still a doubt. How is he going to play? So yes, let us know down below what would be your choice for Chelsea. But the Chelsea defense most definitely will have Chalobah starting, no? I like Chalobah.
I don't like so much Chalobah.
I think Chalobah is the one that's going to start the most. We have Chalobah, Fofana, Josh Ashapong, and Mamadou Sarr maybe coming. Who would be your double choice?
With Levi Colwill returning?
And Levi Colwill too returning. That's it.
Maybe. If Levi Colwill return, I think I would choose Colwill and Fofana, maybe. And with Mamadou Sarr and Chalobah being like the third and fourth option. Josh Achampong, I like Josh in a centre-back position. Maybe Josh, if I was the manager, Josh would play a lot of minutes.
That's the player that for me should go on loan. Should really go on loan, considering the situation at Chelsea right now. But we disagree highly about Chalobah. I think Chalobah should always start. You disagree in that statement.
I disagree.
And I think Fofana, Mamadou Sarr, there's going to be a rotation between the two. But let us know down below what would be your Chelsea defense. And yes, with Anselmino's situation, do you understand Chelsea? Do you feel sorry for Anselmino? Let us know. But I want to talk. It's not transfers, but you deserve this mention because since the episode 1, you've been talking big time about Hugo Ekitike. And yes, it was when Isaac and Ekitike both were signed. Philippe Sousa, he said Ekitike is going to be the player with most goal involvements in the Premier League of all the signings. Currently, it's João Pedro by 1 goal involvement.
By 1 goal.
Do you think still Hugo Ekitike is going to be the top player in terms of goal involvements of all the signings?
Yes. I think he will be more consistent in the second half of the season than João Pedro. But I'm really liking to see the improvement of Wirtz and Ekitike in Liverpool.
That would be the. Do you think Wirtz and Ekitike is the best growing partnership in football?
Yeah. Right now, and I think they were saying that they were flops because
too early.
Because as well of the money that was spent on these two, but we are talking about two brilliant players. Wirtz, what he did at Bayer Leverkusen, you have to pay big money for to have Wirtz in your team.
100%.
So, and Wirtz right now is playing really well with Salah as well in the starting 11.
True.
And I'm really liking to see that. And I think Wirtz and Ekitike in the second half of the season will be brilliant. And Ekitike will end the Premier League has the Premier League signing with most goal involvement.
I thought you were going to say the Premier League top goal scorer there.
With Alan,
it's very difficult. But João Pedro, Ekitike, it's going to be difficult. And Florian Wirtz now is also in the race with all these goal involvements that he's having in terms of assists. Florian Wirtz, last 10 games, 6 goals, 2 assists, and most importantly, class is permanent. This is a Liverpool starter for the next 5-10 years, and that's why he was so expensive. I repeat, class is permanent. A starter for the German national team. And if Germany is one day making history and surprising the world and winning a World Cup or a Euros, Florian Wirtz is a pivotal piece to make that happen. And also at Liverpool. I really believe Liverpool are growing because Florian Wirtz is also growing with confidence. It's a great thing to see. When I'm not going to talk about the Xabi Alonso. We talked in the previous episodes. Arne Slot needed a reaction. And I also wanted to say, watching that match, our thoughts are also with Konate, which he lost his father the past week, scoring a very important goal. That was a very touching moment. So we wanted to say our thoughts to Konate, a centre-back that is unfairly judged by many people, okay? And he grew a lot in terms of development to play next to Virgil van Dijk. Okay?
True, and
really wanted to mention that.
A real physically beast. Is a very difficult centre back for a striker to handle with this type of centre back. So
exactly. So yes, we talked about transfers with Anselmino, FC Wonderkids, so many transfers of young players and transfers that are game changing. Okay.
Yeah.
Starting here, we gotta go with Lyon that we hinted. Lyon is one of the most exciting talents in football, and he went to one of the most exciting projects that know how to sign young players. Dean Huijsen left Bournemouth. Milos Kerkez left Bournemouth. Semenyo left Bournemouth, and Lyon, with the correct development, will leave Bournemouth for the 100 million release clause. What an elite recruitment.
True. And he just needed 20 minutes to deliver his first assist in the Premier League. Fantastic signing. And I think Bournemouth, two teams were the teams that made...
I know who you're going to say. It's Bournemouth and Lyon.
Yeah. Two great teams that I think were the big winners of this transfer window. Because we have Bournemouth that signed Lyon and Alex Toff, that I think will become a great midfielder. And he already played against Wolves, and they arrived, both Lyon and Alex
Clean
arrived.
Sheet?
Last week, I think.
And Kupri scored too. 8 goals for Kupri in the Premier League. Lyon and Kupri are only behind Lamine Yamal in terms of goals.
Teenagers,
under 19 players.
Fantastic. Eli Junior Krupi.
Technical director Tiago Pinto, elite, to get these types of players.
And they
Portuguese.
have as well Alex Jimenez, that is being really consistent, starts every game for Bournemouth.
And they have Alex Scott, and they have Julius Soler.
Fantastic. Alex Scott is a brilliant midfielder.
Great midfielder.
Underrated, I think.
Lot of personality.
People talk a lot about Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton out of the big 6 clubs. But I think Alex Scott is a player that needs to be talked more times.
True. I agree.
This guy is consistent. He is aggressive. He is good on the ball. Great passes. and I think he's a very complete midfielder.
And I want to say too, Ryan, there's a real chance that he can get the call up for the Brazil national team. Playing like this in the Premier League now, this is no joke. He's replacing Semenyo. And I saw a Brazil team when I was growing up, still as a little child, calling up a little child, Kaká, okay, a teenager, that made a big, big difference. Ryan, who says no to a Ryan that can make the difference for the Brazil national team?
And I think the second half of the season will be a nightmare for Ancelotti because this guy has to choose. Because Igor Thiago will play really well. This guy has a
I
word
think he's
to
going to be the
do.
one that's going to be left out.
Yeah,
If
I
you
think-
have to say like Igor Thiago, Matheus Cunha, Endrick,
Endrick.
unfortunately, like Igor Thiago is the one that's like the third choice.
Yeah.
And then you have a Pedro, and then you have a Marcos Leonardo, and then I know I'm forgetting
And we
João
are-
Pedro.
Yeah, and we are talking about the guy that has already 15 goals in the Premier League, Igor Thiago, and he's the guy that is
The
being left
most
out.
ever by a Brazilian player in the
Yeah.
Premier League. Okay, he's breaking records.
Insane.
But still, João Pedro and Matheus Cunha are in front of Thiago.
Yeah, right now, but it's a very difficult situation for Ancelotti to choose. I don't think Ryan will be called up. I think it's very difficult, and maybe it's too soon. But let's see what he
But
can
you know
do.
why I put that chance for Ancelotti to call him up? Because he can play at the winger and he can play as striker. And having that versatility can be of sorts very, very good in the bench, on the bench.
Yeah.
And he would be the type of player you wouldn't need to justify why he's on the bench.
And he's
okay?
very good in transitions. I think in certain moments of the game, Ryan is a player that can be very important.
Exactly.
For Brazil and Bournemouth.
So, seriously, people, we've mentioned this in past podcasts. Seriously, Bournemouth is one of the best teams in the world in terms of recruitment. Shout out to Tiago Pinto, sporting director. Ryan and Kupri are two elite young goal scorers. This is no joke, and expect big results from these types of players. Alex Scott, Julius Soler, Alex Toth. So many quality names. So we gotta pay attention to Bournemouth, and you said it, Lyon also. And I said Ryan should get the call up maybe for Brazil. I'm not gonna say maybe about this. I'm gonna go bold and say Endrick should start for Brazil if he's playing like this with Lyon. Okay, the right career move to go to Lyon, and the confidence that he has. This man can win a World Cup for Brazil. I feel it. Okay, he's got that touch of greatness. Palmeiras won the Brasileirão because of Endrick. Lyon is a candidate to win the Europa League because of now Endrick. Paulo Fonseca, what he's doing with Endrick, it's magical. So that's why starting for Brazil is not something that is unrealistic when we're talking about Endrick at 18 years old.
I think starting will be very difficult when you have João Pedro.
Has he started for Brazil ever, Endrick? I think
yes.
he's got
I think
starts
yes.
already.
Yes.
And he
He's
was not with these types of numbers in a European league, and he was
Yeah.
getting that opportunity. So, you know why do I say so confidently that Hendrick's starting for Brazil? We see Estevão starting at the right wing at the same age. And he's not, Estevão is a big name being at Chelsea, but Endrick, Real Madrid, winning the Brasileirão for Palmeiras, he's got this superstar to him. I think Brazil needs that type of confidence and the mobility. Endrick is a pure striker. However, he can be very mobile, like a Matheus Cunha, like a João Pedro, and maybe more prolific long term.
And you see that in Lyon, the way that he's playing. Sometimes he's wide, sometimes he's in the middle, and this guy can create a lot of chances and finish very well. So Endrick is a very complete attacker. I agree with you, and I think maybe Endrick will start some games in the World Cup. Maybe João Pedro will start others. Maybe it will depend on the game.
I'm getting scared, man.
The one that I'm 100% sure that must start on the wing is Estevão.
For Brazil.
Yeah, Estevão, in my opinion, this guy should start every single
But
game.
we, FC Wonderkid, can see Endrick and Estevão both starting in the World Cup. Yeah. And this is scary, mate. I really think, I'm Portuguese. I want us to win the World Cup. But Brazil are not a dark horse. This is a national team that has won the World Cup 5 times. And now you see a striker like Endrick that is very, very special. He is a generational talent. Vini, Rafinha, Estevão, Bruno Guimarães, Casemiro in midfield that are having tremendous seasons for their respective teams. True. The defense sorted with Gabriel Magalhães, with Éder Militão, with Marquinhos. The left back is the only big issue for Brazil, in my opinion. However, they have Ancelotti, one of the best managers I've seen in international football. I don't know, man. Brazil, we need to pay attention to Brazil. And when we're doing World Cup predictions, we have to do the prediction and the possibility of Endrick and Estevão being the star boys of Brazil to win the 6th World Cup. If they make it happen, their lives change. Estevão and Endrick, they know it, and they become big references both for Chelsea and for Real Madrid. How would Endrick go to Real Madrid next season and say, I'm the guy, man. I'm the striker. It's winning that World Cup. If he wins the World Cup for Brazil, and he's one of the main players to make that happen, Endrick is just different breed. And with Lyon in the Europa League too, if he wins the Europa League too, oh my days, man. Oh my days, it's just a different breed, man. A different meaning to his transfer because he comes from Palmeiras to Real Madrid, but proving it in Europe, proving it with the national team, that would go to another level. But talking about Lyon, it's not just Endrick that we're very excited, The list of names that scored goals against PAOK is absolutely insane. And big shout out to Afonso Moreira, one of the biggest bargains in the last transfer window, 2 million for a player that I could see playing the Portuguese national team. Afonso Moreira for Lyon, underrated. He's in my top 5 most underrated players this season because not a lot of people talk about Afonso Moreira, and for Lyon, he's been absolutely clutch and one of the best teammates to play to Endrick. Please know the name of Afonso
2 million
Moreira.
cost, by the way. 2 million.
Exactly.
Insane. And Lyon cooked in the Europa League with like an under 17 team.
Yes.
They cooked PAOK, that is a great
Rodriguez
team.
too.
Alejandro Rodriguez, Remy Imbert, that is 18, and other 2 players that I don't have the names. I don't know if you have the names. I don't remember
I know who you're mentioning, yes.
But that scored as well. Afonso Moreira, 2 assists.
Yes.
And we must say that the work that Paulo Fonseca is doing at Lyon, it's not normal. It's not normal because these guys signed players with 2 million cost 20-year-old players that were playing in the 3rd division, Portuguese division, Afonso Moreira. This guy trusts the youth. Alejandro Rodriguez, that was an academy player that went to Lyon, played in the under-19 level in the 2nd team, and is playing some minutes with Paulo Fonseca. Remy Imbert as well. And Lyon have 10 wins in a row. 1st place in the Europa League, ahead of Aston Villa with the same points, but ahead of Aston Villa, and 4th place in Ligue 1. So be careful with this Lyon team, and thank you, Paulo Fonseca, because the work that this guy is doing is fantastic and developing the youth, getting results. And Lyon is in another level right now.
That's all you can ask to a great manager like Paulo Fonseca. Very underrated too, because he did a great job at Lille, also trusting the youth tremendously. And yes, very, very well mentioned. A player like Lenny Oro developed a lot with Paulo Fonseca at the time. Now, I just wanted to say, my favorites, Wonderkid transfers that I saw this winter, the loan of Endrick to Lyon. Magnificent, so impactful, and such a good move for Real Madrid and for Lyon. I loved the Ryan move to Bournemouth. What a substitute for Semenyo. Elite move from Tiago Pinto. Great decision. And my third is the one that I was so surprised.
I think I want to predict that.
Which is?
Oscar Bob? No.
Dro Fernández. But Oscar Bob, I also like the move a lot because, like Smith Rowe, like Harry Wilson, it's a great career choice to go to Fulham, staying in the Premier League, being impactful in the Premier League. And I think for Fulham, great move. But the move of Dro Fernández, the possibility that Dro Fernández can be such a pivotal player for the team, I just get very excited because Dro Fernández, like you say, Dro Fernández, 10-10 potential,
10-10
okay?
potential.
He's got the potential to conquer the world and to be one of the best number 10s in football, okay? And having João Neves and Vitinha behind him to play in the role of Fabian Ruiz one day, come on, Dro Fernández is such an elite signing for less than 10 million. This is a robbery that PSG did again.
I'm really optimistic because of Luis Enrique as well, because he's the right manager to develop La Masia talent.
50 goals and 50 assists, right? That's what he said.
When he signed the contract. Now you have to score 50 goals and delivering 50 assists.
3 assists, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
3 seasons. Look, I don't think that's that far-fetched, but yes, but this is the thing about Barcelona. And if you listen to the FC Wonderkid podcast for like 2 years, you know, I'm a guy that I get very frustrated with Barcelona because Barcelona are the type of team that try to keep all the Wonderkids, man. We know La Masia is the best academy in football, but in order for Barcelona to go to this elite level, they got to sell the Wonderkids that they know they're not going to keep, okay? They draw Fernández for less than 10 million. I think it's still a bad sale.
But they wanted to keep, I think,
I know they wanted to keep, but if you're going to sell someone, it's not going to be Dro Fernández. It's Casado. It's players that you know they're not going to be staying or starting for Barcelona in 2-3 years. And when I see this, Barcelona, in terms of academy graduates, they are spending 640 million a year. A team that's in second, Man City, that is doing amazing things with their academy, 241 mil. That's a huge difference. Bayern Munich, 246 mil they spent with academy graduates. So Barcelona spends 3 times more, and they don't sell them for the right price. So I'm a person that I'm very critical, and I think that Barcelona, in order to go to this next level, they have to make tough decisions. And Gavi, Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopes, one of them inevitably will have to leave long term.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Maybe.
And they all signed until 2030.
Yeah. And you have other players that clearly will not play for the Barcelona first team, but I think they are great players and can be players that will be useful in other teams. We have the case of Andrés Cuenca. I don't know if the move to Como is confirmed or not. I don't know.
If Andrés Cuenca goes to Como, is as good as Jacobo Jamón, or if not better. Okay.
Right now, I don't know.
In terms of academy football, Cuenca is better than Jacobo Ramon in academy.
In academy, yes. I think the potential of Andrés Cuenca is very high.
Exactly.
Higher than Jacobo Ramon.
He's got Pau Cubarsí potential, Andrés Cuenca. You don't say that anymore.
Pau Cubarsí reached the world class level as with 18 years old.
Did you see the statement of Tiago Pinto that he said the only centre-back that can win a Ballon d'Or in the future, Tiago Pinto, technical director of Bournemouth, said Dean Huijsen. Do you agree with that statement?
Dean Huijsen? I don't agree with that statement because I think for a centre-back to win a Ballon d'Or, you have to score a lot of goals.
True.
Who's the centre-back that scores a lot of goals?
Vuskovic!
This guy, yes.
So you'd say Vuskovic has a higher potential to win a Ballon d'Or than Dean Huijsen and Pau Cubarsí?
Because of the goals. It's not that he will become a better centre-back as an overall. But
he needs to leave Tottenham.
But this guy scores a lot of goals, man.
ASAP. We can talk about Vuskovic now because it always makes sense. Vuskovic against Bayern Munich. I watched that match and I'm thinking to myself, he's the best player on the pitch. He's the best player on the pitch, and he's the joint top goal scorer on board.
We said in the beginning of the season, he was already ready to play for Tottenham.
Exactly.
He was already ready.
So why did they let him go?
I don't know. He's
better than Danso, 100%. Debatable, Mickey van de Ven and Romero.
Yeah.
But in 1-2 years, there's no more debate.
He could be the third centre-back of Tottenham.
Exactly. They could play with 3 centre-backs.
It's because he's 18 years old and they didn't want to trust an 18-year-old to play in the Premier League. I think that's
ridiculous. That is ridiculous because Vuskovic, in terms of composure, intelligence, decision-making, he's one of the best centre-backs in football. I'm not talking under 18s. I'm not talking under 21s. I'm talking centre-backs currently in the Premier League. The best Wonderkid in the Bundesliga is Vuskovic, the best Wonderkid, or Yan Diomande.
And aerial play is the best in the world right now.
Vuskovic.
Aerial play.
And in terms of aerial duels, statistically, no doubt.
Not just duels. The aerial play, set pieces. He scores a lot of goals.
Man, Arteta's going to try and sign Vuskovic. I just hope he doesn't go to Arsenal, man.
But yes, Luka Vuskovic is the player with most aerial duels won in the Big 5 leagues. So I think in the aerial game, it's very difficult to be better than Luka Vuskovic. He's very aggressive in the air, and I think he will become a world-class centre-back. I don't have any doubts, but I think he's the centre-back that can one time win a Ballon d'Or because of the goals that this guy can score.
But he's going to the right clubs on loan too. Okay, Westerlo was a good club for him at the time. Hamburg now is the good club for him at this moment for Vuskovic. Next season, Bayern Munich, baby, is a better decision than Tottenham, mate. For me, I am Vuskovic. Tottenham have to convince me that it's the right project for me. Because Vuskovic is, in fact, one of the best young centre-backs in football. True. And it's not a crazy statement to say that Vuskovic is better than Lenny Yoro currently and is as good as Dean Huijsen and Pau Cubarsí. But you went bold by saying that Vuskovic has a higher chance to win the Ballon d'Or than Dean Huijsen and Pau Cubarsí. Where would you like to see him next, Vuskovic?
Vuskovic, Bayern Munich, I think it would be a great option. Because...
Facts!
Because it's...
He would be the best centre-back in the Bundesliga in 2-3 years.
If he goes to Tottenham and Tottenham finishes in the 10th place of the Premier League, Luka Vuskovic will be seen like a normal centre-back.
Yes, I
and
completely
with
agree.
Bayern Munich, if you play for titles, if you win Bundesligas, if you can reach semi-finals of the Champions League, it's a really complete different story.
And he's the type of player that they sign him and he doesn't leave for 10 years. Vuskovic. And we know what he's going to bring to this team. And in 10 years, he's 28. And you have Musiala, you have Lennart Karl, you have Olise that is still young. And now you get a Vuskovic that, let's be honest, Bayern Munich, in terms of defense for potential players, is not as attractive as offensive players. With Musiala, with Lennart Karl, with Olise. Vuskovic coming, that makes the defense for the rebuild completely different.
And
I would love that move.
A lot of young midfielders with very high potential.
Pavlovic and
Bischoff. And you have as well attackers with that type of potential, like Lennart Karl, Jamal Musiala, Luisden Mike, that people will know soon. And Luka Vuskovic, can be the defender in that type of project of Bayern Munich, and I would be very happy to see him going to Bayern Munich. I think he's the right club for him. But other player that I was
the transfers you wanted to talk
No,
to.
it's that I think I know where Constantino Carezza should go next.
Yes.
I think
he should go to Benfica.
It should go to Como.
Should
go to Como because
Maturina is working so well.
And Nico Paz will leave, and Constantinos Carezza can be a good option for Como to develop under Cesc Fabregas.
Imagine if Como get Mozakitic and Carezza.
I would watch every single game.
We already watched every single game. We watched Nico Paz missing that pen.
Perrone and Mozakitis in the midfield.
Perrone is the one I think might be leaving too because there's a lot of Serie A interest. Imagine Como let go Perrone and Nico Paz and they get Carezza and Mozakitic. Is this a better team in 1-2 years?
I don't know.
It is, mate. I'll say it is. I'll go bold and say it is. I love Perrone and Nico Paz, but Mozakitic and Carezza both together. This is the dynamics so compatible, and for the future, I love those two. I love too,
but I think Nico Paz is in a level right now that is insane level.
No, I'm not. You know what I think about Nico Paz. We disagree with Arda Güler, Nico Paz, and Mastatuano so much.
The thing is, do you think Nico Paz will play for Real Madrid
next season? Do I think Carezza can be a 10 to play in a Real Madrid level or Barcelona one day? Yes. I do think that. Sure. And Mozakitic, do I think he can be a deep-lying playmaker to play in the top teams in Europe one day? I completely think that too. That's the thing with Greece. Please play these two, and then Kostolas also developing at Brighton. I'm extremely excited for this Greek future. We've mentioned so many times in the podcast. We see Vajanidic that doesn't start for Sporting a lot of games, but he still has loads of potential. Greece national team is a dark horse to make things tough for Spain, for Portugal, for Brazil. But yes, Carezza está como, man. Carezza that was decisive in the match against Utrecht,
the
correct?
Europa League, great goal, insane.
And he's done that many times against Braga too. He killed Braga watching that match.
Assists. He delivers a lot of assists. I think he has 8 assists in the Jupiler Pro League, in the Belgian Pro League.
Constantinos Carezza, if we're talking about Wonderkids outside the top 5 leagues, he is one of the most exciting talents. No doubts
No
in
doubts,
our minds.
No doubts. I think he was the right replacement of Bilal El-Khanous at Genk, and
From the academy.
yeah, from the academy. They didn't need to spend a lot of money.
True.
They trust Konstantinos Karetas, and this guy
Such a luxury.
is proving himself.
An academy that developed Mike Penders also, De Bruyne in the past, Courtois in the past, Mats Smets, great centre-back too at Genk. Please pay attention to him too. Oh, it's always good to see. And it's always good to talk about a player like Konstantinos Karetas. And I was mentioning a bit of Club Brugge. Stankovic, mate. The son of Dejan Stankovic. What is on to him? What a player, Inter. They got to call him back.
Like father, like son. Yeah.
Stankovic is the future of Serbia, no doubt.
Yeah, fantastic. This guy is very complete. Again, he's a defensive midfielder, a number 6 that is good on the ball, very aggressive. He's tall. I think he's 1.91
yes,
meters.
he's tall. He's very tall.
He's very tall.
So good on ball. The
So
composure, the ball playing long passes and goals. He has goal involvements right now. And this is a defensive midfielder.
Yeah. The mid-shot range, I think, is very good.
He's one of the most exciting players that I would say in terms of midfielders on and off ball, both. Yeah. Because what he offers off ball, he's aggressive, he's ruthless, he's very good timing when to do the tackle. And on ball, the decision making of passes and when to attack the goal too, I like. He's very complete, Stankovic.
Yeah. And will be the future of Serbia as well, because I think Serbia will be in the World Cup.
Yes.
Yes, I think he needs to be called up for the World Cup.
If that's the case, yeah. But let us know. Fact check.
I don't know.
We didn't see Serbia in the World Cup. No.
Maybe they are in the playoffs.
We didn't mention Serbia. No, in the Wonderkids. But yes.
In the Champions League again, I think 2 assists and 1 goal. Fantastic performance, and he's in a streak right now that he has like 3 or 4 games with goal involvements in a row, and I think this is the last season that he spends on Club Brugge.
Completely agree. And Zolic maybe will be his last season after 10 goals, 10 assists for like how many seasons in a row?
Zolic already deserved to leave and to get in the Big 5 leagues, because what he did last year with Club Brugge in the championship round of the Belgian Pro League was insane. Goals and assists every single game, destroying every single opponent. This guy is very good.
And mentioning complete midfielder, I think it makes complete sense to also talk about one of our own, okay? Portuguese midfielder, Matheus Fernández, okay? And I'm going to say a bold statement for some people, but West Ham fans back me when I say this. Matheus Fernández could be the best midfielder at West Ham since Declan Rice has left the club, okay? I think he's being so impactful to this team that he's saving them from relegation, okay? Matheus Fernández, off ball, so complete. On ball, the decision-making, the goals that he's scoring, he's being decisive in so many moments. And yes, in terms of talent, no doubts in my mind, he's the most talented midfielder that West Ham has had since Declan Rice. And in terms of importance, I think he's going to become that. One of the best signings of last summer, Matheus Fernández, and they got to lock him in, okay?
Yeah.
West Ham legend in the making, Matheus Fernández, by securing Premier League spots, okay? Because they were, before Matheus Fernández got this importance in this team, West Ham were going to get relegated. I really thought that was going to happen. But now with Matheus Fernández, with Pablo, that is also a great signing for the Portuguese League. Gil Vicente playing behind Castellanos. I'm loving the way that Pablo's playing. But Matheus having the decision-making, orchestrating the team, Matheus Fernández has to be called up for the Portuguese national team in March. And maybe for the World Cup too. What a midfielder Matheus Fernández is, the most underrated midfielder in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, because he's so underrated. I don't see a lot of people talk about him in the English media.
Oh, they should. West Ham fans
yeah.
should defend him so much. Watching that first half against Chelsea yesterday, Matheus Fernández was the orchestrator, calming the ball at the right moments, winning duels to Caicedo and Enzo Fernández.
The aggression that he has in the duels right now, it's a complete different player that he was in the Sporting Academy.
Oh, yes.
He was in the Sporting Academy. Matheus Fernández was a pure number 10.
Yes.
And right now he's a...
Ever since that loan at Estoril, he changed,
he
He became more of an 8, a modern-day box-to-box. And now at West Ham, look, I really think they got to lock him in. They got to extend him again, because this is the type of player that the top 6 of the Premier League look at him and they say, how did we miss him? How did we miss him? How did Southampton and West Ham get him first than us?
Fantastic signing. And I think Matheus Fernandes, the second half of the season, will be very important to see if West Ham can will not be relegated. That is very important. I think Matheus Fernandes is the most crucial player in that
Completely. Team. Pablo also, he's growing. I love him. I love that player. And Jared Bowen, okay? And Jared Bowen, which is always decisive, and the captain, the soul of that team. How did you react to Paquetá going to Flamengo? Jogadinha do Paquetá. Move by Paquetá.
I think he wanted to return to Brazil.
Rumoredly, he refused Tottenham and Chelsea to go to Flamengo.
Yeah, I think he wanted to return to Brazil. I think Lucas Paquetá is that type of player that you pay the ticket just to see Paquetá. I think it's a huge loss for the Premier League because
and a huge win for Flamengo fans. One of their own returning.
And Flamengo will win the Brasileirão again and the Copa Libertadores again, because he's a player that is in
the added value is insane.
And he's in another level. So I think fantastic signing. I was very surprised to see a Brazilian team paying 42 million euros for a player.
Flamengo has elite money too. They have a lot of money.
They have a lot
Mr.
of money.
Zeboto, great sporting director too. Portuguese sporting director that I'm sure to make this move they allocated a lot of funds smartly.
And fantastic decision and for Flamengo and for Paquetá, that I think he's happy to return to his country. So very strange. I didn't expect this move, but I like it.
And it makes sense for us to talk about also Matheus Fernandes, Portugal, jogadinha do Paquetá, mentioning Portuguese language. What a week it was for us Portuguese, wasn't it, Felipe? Seeing Sporting Clube Portugal securing top 8, seeing Sport Lisboa e Benfica with José Mourinho making history and getting Trupin to score that goal. People, respect more Portuguese football. Futebol Clube do Porto, Sporting Clube Portugal and Benfica can beat any team in football in the right day, okay? Futebol Clube do Porto made history, winning Europa League, winning the Champions League this century. Sport Lisboa e Benfica is one of the best academies in football. We saw that with João Félix, Ruben Dias, Bernardo Silva, so many players leaving in recent history. And Sporting Clube Portugal, the growth that they've had these recent years, 3 leagues won in the last 6 years, developing a Victor Gyökeres, a Martin Huylmans, a great coach like Ruben Amorim. We need to respect more Portuguese football, and even a Sporting Clube de Braga, Vitória de Guimarães, Famalicão that is growing and selling a Zabiri to a Stade Rennes for 15 mil. Pay attention to Portuguese football. We deserve a lot more recognition. And Portuguese league is one of the best leagues in the world. And the Portuguese national team is the best team in this World Cup, okay? Just wanted to give a bit of a jab, but it's good. I loved it to see Sporting Clube Portugal securing the top 8 and the way the Sport Lisboa e Benfica got the Champions League spot. José Mourinho showing the masterclass by saying to Trubin, go, 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 go. You go. You're going to make it happen. And you also stated, starting the game 5 minutes later, José Mourinho with his antics. Why? To know the results of the other Champions League games that were happening at the same time. Masterclass. That's why he's a specialist in greatness. The special one, José Mourinho. Eu fiquei tão feliz. I was like so happy to see that happen, man. I was so happy.
Very great week for the Portuguese football. I think when we talk about Sporting, we must say that in the top 8 of the Champions League, we have 5 Premier League teams, Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Sporting Clube Portugal. This is the top 8 of the Champions League. And Sporting
deserves to be there. Okay,
Deserved.
The way they play, the amounts of players that have grown these past seasons with Sporting, Pote, Trincão, Morten Huylman, Diomande, Gonçalo Inácio. This is one of the best Sporting teams I've seen in my lifetime. So getting a top 8 deserves.
And Rui Borges, we must talk about Rui Borges.
He is an underrated manager.
Fantastic work from Rui Borges, because the football that this Sporting team is playing, they may not win the league, but there is a team in Portugal that is playing a fantastic football, a better football. because in terms of I pay the ticket to see Sporting because these guys are playing really well, and I don't see Porto playing in that style that people are watching and enjoying the football.
Off-ball, Futebol Clube do Porto controls games. On-ball, Sporting Clube Portugal is the best in Portugal.
That's why you pay to see people playing.
But
on
if
ball.
I'm a Futebol Clube do Porto fan, I like also the style that Porto plays.
Porto
Only
gets
4
the
goals
results.
suffered in the league until the game.
Fantastic defensively.
Casa Pia?
Porto,
That I don't think they're going to score 2, Casa Pia.
Yeah, I don't think too. I think Porto defensively is one of the best teams in the top 7 leagues.
Oh,
right now.
yes.
And Sporting in the his attacking style with Trincão, Jenny Catamo, Giovanni Kendapot, a lot of options. Luis Suarez.
I didn't say Suarez, yes.
Suarez, Fotis, Ioannidis. I think a lot of options for the Sporting attack, and I think Sporting is playing a really good football and will surprise a lot of fans in the Champions League in the
And 2 players that are going to surprise a lot of people in the World Cup of Sporting Clube Portugal are going to be Maxi Araújo, a big starter for the Uruguay national team. He is an elite player at the left, playing at left back or at left winger. He can play at an elite level in those 2 positions. And Luis Suarez should be the starter for Colombia. Not John Duran, okay? Luis Suarez that scored 4 goals against Venezuela and scored 2 goals against PSG. And after that, 2 goals against Aroca, 2 clutch goals and a 2-1 win. Luis Suarez is clutch. Luis Suarez technically is one of the best strikers right now in football. Technically, inside the box. And he's growing in terms of confidence because it is the right career choice to go to Sporting Clube Portugal before going to the top teams in Europe. Like we saw with Vitor Gyökeres and like we saw with Bruno Fernandes. But that was a different time with Sporting Clube Portugal. That man, Bruno, was carrying Sporting back in the day. But Maxi Araújo and Luis Suarez, they're not Wonderkids, but they're 2 players that I wanted to say to you guys, please pay attention in the Portuguese league to them because they're amazing and they developed a lot at Sporting Clube Portugal in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. Very well said. And I think
we got to talk about Sheldrup, right? Oh, Sheldrup, come on.
Sheldrup and Prestiani, because these 2 guys made a really good performance against Real Madrid.
Which Zé Mourinho.
They prove that they can be starters, regular starters for Benfica.
True.
I think Sheldrup has a bright future ahead. I think like 3 months ago, I think some of the fans are talking that they wanted to sell.
3 months, 3 weeks
3
ago.
weeks ago, they wanted to sell Sheldrup.
Sheldrup was reportedly going to go to Club Brugge before this matchup for 11 million. And after being the man of the match and scoring 2 goals against Real Madrid, how much is that worth? 20 mil minimal.
Yeah.
Minimal.
I think Sheldrup is a brilliant player, and I think he just needs confidence. If Sheldrup has the right confidence, he will play very well, and I think he is a brilliant winger.
Completely.
And Prestiani as well.
Sheldrup should 100% go to the Norwegian national team in the World Cup.
Will.
The best player of the last game week of the Champions League, and the confidence that he has is completely different. Okay, for a young wonder kid to go off the bench and solve the game. That is completely different of starting a match, visualizing what you're going to do, having that confidence of the manager saying, you can have your time to make the impact in that match. Sheldrup starting matches is very different, and José Mourinho knows just that. People tend to point fingers with José Mourinho saying, he doesn't trust the youth a lot, blah, 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 blah. Look at Dean Huijsen, look at Sheldrup, look at Prestiani now. José Mourinho does trust the youth, but the type of player has to be special. And mentality-wise, if you're in your work, and someone is saying you're doing this bad, you're doing this bad, you're doing this bad, you're doing this bad, you have to do this, you have to do this. Some people hate that. Others love it. José Mourinho does this with Wonderkids, and some Wonderkids like Dean Huijsen love it. Some other Wonderkids like, the fullback, Danny Rose, that was at Tottenham at the time. He didn't enjoy to be pointed fingers, and that's why. Look, where's Danny Rose now, and where's Dean Huijsen now?
Danny Rose.
You don't remember the documentary?
I remember, but Danny Rose.
he had to have that talk. He had to have that talk with Danny Rose, and that's what some Wonderkids need. The right talk
Danny
at
Rose
the right
wasn't
time.
a Wonderkid at that
No?
time. I think he was 26,
Youngish.
27.
He was.
But Danny Rose doesn't play. He's playing right now.
No, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
But I think he was not an elite fullback, not near of that. But I think Jose Mourinho knows how to deal with the players, and this is very important. I think sometimes in the beginning can be difficult for the players to handle the message and etc. But I think Jose Mourinho will do a good job at Benfica, and that's what I said in the beginning of the season, that this season 25-26 has maybe one of the seasons that I remember with Porto, Sporting and Benfica are really strong. The three teams are really strong. Three fantastic squads.
Three great managers.
Jose Mourinho, Farioli. And the results are there because Porto is in the top 8 of the Europa League, Braga is in the top 8 of the Europa League, Sporting is in the top 8 of the Champions League, and Benfica qualified for the playoffs.
When they had a tough start with Brunelage losing with Karabakh, that was a result that was so surprising, and it was detrimental, to get Jose Mourinho. But yes, wanted to talk here in the last part of the podcast about Barcelona, Lamine Yamal, and I wanted to mention, we didn't talk in the transfers, about Hamza Abdelkarim of Al Ahly. What a move by Barcelona to sign these types of players to Barça B, because it's smart. Let's sign players that we're going to see at Barça B, see him develop, and then we're going to make the decision if he's ready to play for Barca's first team. Hamza Abdelkarim costs 3 million to Barcelona for this decision. He can be the next Egyptian big striker, and now he's at Barcelona at the right team. What a choice by Barcelona. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. People that don't know him, he's like an Egyptian Haaland.
Great instincts.
Yeah, with instincts, but also with a lot of technique. He plays as well. He has a good link-up play with his teammates. He has a good footwork as well, but he's very strong, very fast, and finish very well. And I think let's see how we can be developed at Barcelona B, because Barcelona B is right now in the 4th division, in the Spanish 4th division, and I think they need to be promoted to the 1st division to give a more competitive context to these young guys. For example, Guilherme Fernández is playing in the 4th division.
Tony Fernández, yeah.
I think it's...
And for Cuenca too, naturally, he wants to go to Como straight away.
It's a context that it's not very competitive for a player that comes from
They should be in the La Liga B if possible, right?
Yeah, if possible, the 2nd division would be perfect. I think this work should be done by Barcelona. This should be really goals to develop those kids. But
Barcelona, main team, Champions League, Lamine Yamal, you've said it many times, Lamine Yamal, the best 18-year-old ever in football.
Yeah.
This season,
who is the guy that can be compared with Lamine
18.
that you saw? I know.
I'm going to say Ronaldo Nazario, Pelé.
No, Ronaldo Nazario played at PSV.
And then 19. Straight away goes to Barcelona. Yeah. He's the best player in the team.
Yeah. At 19.
Yeah. Okay.
Played in PSV at 19 years old.
The thing with I love the statement. I just think it's really bold. That's why I'm just stating it.
Mbappe, the one that you can compare is Mbappe.
I was going to say Mbappe. Mbappe at 18 was incredible also. And
I should say that Lamine Yamal needed less games than Messi to reach the 40 assists for FC Barcelona. He played 133 matches, Lamine Yamal, and Lionel Messi needed 165, I think.
Now, one thing I can say, it's impossible to name me a right winger better than Lamine Yamal currently. Impossible. Olise is not better. Saka is not better. If you put Vini at the right, he's not better.
I put Olise in the same conversation.
Nobody's better than Lamine Yamal currently. 13 goals and 13 assists. Just for people to have a perspective, he's 10 goal involvements away of having the numbers that Vini had in his Ballon d'Or season. Lamine at 18. So, in terms of right wingers, You cannot tell me a right winger better than Lamine. So, in terms of importance, in terms of greatness, in terms of the way he's playing, best dribbler in the world, Lamine wins the Champions League with Barcelona, wins the La Liga with Real Madrid. He is the
Ballon
favorite
d'Or.
to win the Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
Completely. The only person that can stop Lamine Yamal to win the Ballon d'Or is maybe Haaland doing greatness with maybe City in the Premier League, or even Mbappe in the World Cup. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think France is going to win the World Cup. Neither I think Real Madrid are going to have a better season than Barcelona.
Yeah. I think Man City could have a word to say, because I think Haaland will score a lot of goals, and I think Norway will be the dark horse of the next World Cup. I'm really
Senegal
very
and France,
curious
tough.
to see Norway, because we have Oscar Bob, André Schjelderup, Musa, Telo Asgard, Odegaard.
But with
Haaland.
Lamine, don't you think it's like Lamine has this ambition to make history because he knows his level of talent is not for anyone. He was
He
born
doesn't
with
care.
this talent.
He doesn't care of the pressure that people talk about him in the media. He doesn't care. He knows that he's good. And people say that he's arrogant. I don't think he's arrogant. I think he knows what he can do. He knows his potential. He knows that he can win 5-6 Ballon d'Ors. He already said it in an interview that if he didn't win 5-6 Ballon d'Ors, it's because he did something wrong.
Exactly.
This guy said it because I think the pressure comes from him. Like if
agree.
he doesn't win something like a Ballon d'Or, this guy will be upset.
And you see the landscape of players. Is it Kylian Mbappe in 10 years that's going to be competing with Lamine? No. I don't see the player that's going to be competing with Lamine still. But that's the thing. Like, Endrick is at Real Madrid, Lamine at Barcelona. That can be the next big rivalry.
Yeah, maybe. But I think Lamine is...
It's insane, man. It's insane what Barcelona and Real Madrid are doing in terms of recruitment and long term. It's elite rivalries. Nico Paz going against a Fermin Lopez, Endrick going against a Lamine, a Rafinha going against a Vini. It's so entertaining. La Liga is completely back, but I think Barcelona, they got the upper hand because they are developing the players in a much better way, and they have the right manager with Hansi Flick with the right players. Is there any last statement you'd like to say here in the podcast?
Yes, I wanted just to talk about the Oscar Bob transfer.
Yes, to
Fulham. And I think he will have a fantastic second half of the season when we have a trio, under 23 trio in Fulham. That is Kevin, Oscar Bob, and Josh King. That will be very enjoyable to watch in the Premier League. But Oscar Bob for 30 million, I think.
Around 30 million. Yeah.
In my opinion, bargain. In my opinion, because Oscar Bob is that type of talent that if it wasn't the injuries, this guy was already a starter for Manchester
if he wasn't
City.
in Man City, he'd be starting somewhere else.
Somewhere
he will be
else.
starting at Fulham, as you expect, correct?
Yeah. He will be starting at Fulham, and I think he will prove his value in the Premier League. He will score a lot of goals and assists in the second half of the season.
And big shout outs to Man City Academy that sell Cole Palmer, Oscar Bob, James McAtee, and Liam Delap for around 120 million. We often get a lot of people disagreeing with us when we say that Man City have the best academy in England. No doubt. It's not Coburn that once was the best academy. It's not Carrington, definitely. And it's not Haaland. The Man City Academy is developing the best players in football currently. Foden, Cole Palmer, Rico Lewis, James Trafford, Brahim Diaz. Okay, in England. Okay, the best players in England.
I think the next one will be Coburn, because in a couple of years you will be talked about Chimelka, Reggie Walsh, Jess Derrick, Avuma McQueen.
I just think like Coburn has been around so long, and they've done with Reece James now, Levi Colville.
Jamal Musiala.
There's a lot. But I just think the Man City Academy, the levels that they're going in recent history, it's like overall, the players that leave are more. They're more and they're more ready. I'm not even talking about like Frimpongs, like those types of players that maybe they don't get as much attention. But okay, I accept Coburn against Man City. Those are the two best academies in England, most definitely.
For sure.
And complete differentials compared to others. So yes, Oscar Bob, you said it. He's going to start. But let us know down below your bold statements of FC Wonderkid episode 23. If you're listening until now, like on 5 stars on Spotify, like on YouTube. It's a huge help for us in the podcast. And comment down below topics that you would like to see in episode 24. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the FC Wonderkid podcast. Thank you, Fleep, for going extremely bold, like you went bold with Ekitike.
Thank you.
And you went bold also now about Oscar Bob. Please pay attention and take notes. And yes, once again, thank you, everyone that's supporting us. And we promise to go even bolder until the World Cup. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.